Good news! The UK opens new free visa opportunities for everyone without Ielts. Imagine turning your passion for arts, music, or performance into an international career. In today's video update with Uche Agor, we will talk about an exciting new opportunity, which is the Creative Worker Visa for the UK. I would also tell you a list of companies that are offering this Creative Worker Visa so that you can as well contact them. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Uche Agor, and in this channel I talk about immigration updates ranging from employment opportunities, permanent residency opportunities, scholarships, and I also share information that help nurses. If you're new to my channel, you are highly welcome. Please do not make it your last time because you would love it here. Please hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you'll be the first to be notified whenever any of my video comes live. And if you're a returning subscriber, you're an absolute star. Thank you so much for always returning to this channel to support me. I appreciate every one of you. In today's video, we will talk about the UK Creative Worker Visa without you needing IELTS, the ability for you to move in with your family, and I will try as much as possible to answer some questions that I have received. The UK government has launched the Creative Worker Visa, and this new visa path is offering free visa sponsorship for overseas workers. The opportunity is perfect for those who are in creative occupations like photographers, musicians, hairdressers, dancers, bakers, fashion designer. You can move to the UK with your family without the need for an English language certification. This saves you both time and saves you money. Here are the benefits of having the Creative Worker Visa. The first one is that you don't require an English language certification, which is beautiful. The second one is that you can bring in your family, your spouse, your children, or your civil partner, and they'll have the right to be able to work in the UK. And the next benefit is that you are going to have a free visa sponsorship because your employer will be sponsoring you, and all your expenses for relocation will be paid for, including your flight tickets, including your visa fees. The fourth one is that you would have an additional job opportunity, and that simply means that you can take up extra job for 20 hours per week in addition to your primary employment, as long as it falls under the salary immigration list. If you've gotten to this point, please give this video a thumbs up, and I would also be sharing my screen with you through the government website so that we can have a general overview of what this program is all about. We would talk about the general overview, we would talk about the eligibility, we would talk about the documents that are required, we would talk about how you can apply, we will talk about how you can extend your visa if you have intentions to. So stay tuned to the end of this video so that you can benefit all this information from it. The general overview is that Creative Worker Visa is basically a temporary visa, and for you to apply for this temporary worker visa, you should have been offered a work in the UK as a creative worker, and also you should be able to meet the eligibility requirements. So if you see me looking down, I'm just going through my screen so that we can share the right information together, okay? So a creative worker, we would start with saying, who is a creative worker? A creative worker is someone who works in creative industries. For example, an actor, a dancer, a musician, or a film crew member. This visa has placed the temporary worker creative and sporting visa. This is a tier 5 visa. So if you're a sports person, you can work with the international sports person visa in the UK. We would go ahead to talk about the sponsorship. Okay, so basically we've talked about that you need a job offer in this sector. Now, when you get the job offer, your employer will be able to sponsor you for this visa route. So the sponsorship, you would need to have a certificate of sponsorship from a licensed sponsor before you can apply to work in the UK through this visa pathway. And the work you're going to do in the UK must relate to the work of your sponsor organization. The next is how long it takes. You can apply for a visa up to 3 months before the day you are due to start work in the UK, and the date is listed in your COS, which is your certificate of sponsorship. So basically, You need to apply for this visa 3 months before your actual start date. As part of your application, you would need to prove your identity and provide your documents. You may also need to allow extra time if you need an appointment to do this. You would also find out if you need one when you start your application. Now you'll be wondering, how long do they take for you to get a decision based on your visa application? It says that once you've applied online and you've proved your identity and you've provided your documents of course will be your international passport, your certificate of sponsorship, popularly called the COS, you would usually get a decision on your visa. So the decision would be, are you applying outside of the UK and are you applying inside of the UK? So basically, if you're applying outside of the UK, you would get a decision about this visa in 3 weeks. And if you're applying inside the UK, you would get the decision about your visa in 8 weeks. However, you can also be able to pay to get a faster decision. How much does it cost? Recall that I said that this creative worker visa would be provided with you by your employer with a visa sponsorship. So how much it costs for you, your partner, or children will each need to pay the application fee. You would pay the health surcharge, which is usually about £1,035 per year, and you also need to prove enough personal savings. Now, if your employer has ticked the maintenance fee on your certificate of sponsorship, then you would not need to prove this for you and your family. The application fee for each person applying is £298. The fee is the same whether you're applying inside the UK or outside the UK. Now, I know a lot of you will be wondering, can you stay in the UK forever or stay longer in the UK with this visa pathway? You can come to the UK for a minimum of 12 months, or the time it's given in your certificate of sponsorship plus up to 28 days, whichever is shorter. But the good news is that you can be able to extend your visa. Your stay must start no more than 14 days before your actual start date of the certificate of sponsorship. If you have intentions to work in the UK for 3 months or less, you should be able to use the creative worker visa concession instead of applying for this visa. Now, with this visa pathway, what are the things you can do and what are the things you cannot do? You can study for some courses. If you feel like you have the need to advance, you can study for some courses and you will need an academic technology approval scheme certificate. You can also work for your sponsor in the job described in your certificate of sponsorship. You can also do a second job in the same sector and at the same level as your main job for up to 20 hours per week. You can also do a job on the skilled worker immigration salary list for up to 20 hours per week, and you can bring your dependents and children, and if they are eligible. You know that even the Tier 2 visa, you cannot have access to the public funds, so you cannot start your own business with the creative worker visa. Let's check the eligibility. You would need all of the following to be eligible for the creative category. You need to make a unique contribution to the UK labour market. For example, you are either internationally renowned or you're required for continuity. You would also need your certificate of sponsorship, your COS reference number, and you need to also be paid the minimum salary. You also need enough money to support yourself. So up to date, you would need to prove that your account statement has at least £1,270 available, and your employer must make sure that your job pays at least the minimum wage and follows the UK rules for how many hours a week you should work. If your employer doesn't do this, your application will be refused. Certificate of sponsorship, we already mentioned that you would need a licensed sponsor, and this sponsor would give you a COS. We all know that, and that we know that the COS is valid for 3 months for the date it has been assigned to you. Yes, you can change your sponsor, but for you to change your sponsor, you have to apply again and meet all the eligibility rules if you want to change your sponsor within the same organization. or move to a new organization. Your sponsor does not change how long you're going to stay in the UK. You need to stay the minimum length of time that is allowed by your visa. And having multiple jobs. Can you have multiple jobs as a creative worker? Your sponsor can give you a certificate that covers the length of your stay, even if you need to perform more than one engagement. So if you're working for more than one sponsor, you can get a certificate of sponsorship from each sponsor. But there cannot be a gap of more than 14 days between each job. So we've mentioned that you need at least £1,270 in your bank account to show that you can be able to support yourself in the UK. However, if your employer has taxed the maintenance, then you would not need this. If your employer can support you, your certificate of sponsorship must confirm this. Your employer would need to complete the sponsor certifies maintenance section on your certificate. This you can find more information. I will put the link to this website in the description below, so feel free to check it out. What are the documents that you must provide when you apply? When you apply, you will need to provide a certificate of sponsorship reference number, which your employer would have given you. You need to provide a valid passport or any document that shows your identity or nationality. You need to provide an evidence that you have enough personal savings to support yourself in the UK. That could be a bank statement, unless your COS shows your employer is going to support you. You need to prove your relationship with your partner or children if they are applying with you. That can be your court wedding certificate and your children's birth certificate. And you would need your tuberculosis test results if you're from a country where you have to take this test. For example, my country, Nigeria, you would need to take this test. You'd also need a blank page in your passport for your visa. Once you have gathered all these documents, then you can proceed with applying. Now, if you're applying from outside of the UK, you can apply online for this visa, as you can see on my screen, providing your identity and also providing the support documents that you need. You also have your fingerprint or your photograph taken at a visa center. This is so that when you would have your biometric residence permit printed, your picture will be there. And to do this, you would also need a UK immigration ID check. There's an app, the ID check app, that will help to scan your identity document. But you need to create an account and sign in through the UK VI account. Now, you'll be told what to do when you apply. Just follow the prompt as required. Here are the list of organizations that can help provide you with job sponsorship jobs or visa sponsorships to come into the UK under the creative worker visa. Home Accommodation Services is the top on my list and is located in London. On this table, you can find the organization name, the town or the city, the county, the type, and the rating. So for Home Accommodation Services Limited, they are in London, and the type and rating is the temporary worker A rating. We also have there a full list of them: 13 artists, 178 Parkview Limited. We have the A Production Limited, the Academic Music Group, the Academic Film Limited, the Access All Areas. We also have the Action for Arts Trust Limited, and also the list goes on and on. There is Adrian Gibson Music Production Limited, located in Surrey, offering a temporary work. We also have the Agile Films Limited in London, and this is just the list from the A alphabet. So Adventure Pictures Limited, we have the African Cultural Development in Hackney, and the county is in London, that provides temporary work. We also have the All Nations Christian Church that in Kent. We have the All Things Considered Limited. Please feel free to check out these organizations that are providing visa sponsorships under the creative worker visa, and let them know what skill you have or what skill you're going to provide when you are given the visa sponsorship. And I wish you all the best. If you loved this video and if this video was helpful to you, I would appreciate if you can comment below to just tell me Uche, well done. That would go a long way for me. Please also give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and share this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. This video was made or created 23:31 p.m. That is how I love every one of you and how I work hard for my channel. Thank you for watching this video again. Please give it a thumbs up and see you in my next video. Bye for now.